Scheherazade Stories. Tonight's story is about watching and being watched. The first sign was the silence. Not the peaceful kind, not the kind you enjoy early in the morning before the city wakes up. This silence felt wrong. I noticed it when I said good morning to the barista and she didn't answer. She didn't even look at me. At first, I thought she hadn't heard me. I cleared my throat, louder this time. Good morning. Nothing. She took the cup from the machine, placed it on the counter, and called out, "Next." I stepped closer. That one's mine. She stared right through me, not past. The first sign was the silence. Not the peaceful kind, not the kind you enjoy early in the morning before the city wakes up. This silence felt wrong. I noticed it when I said good morning to the barista and she didn't answer. She didn't even look at me. At first, I thought she hadn't heard me. I cleared my throat, louder this time. Good morning. Nothing. She took the cup from the machine, placed it on the counter, and called out, "Next." I stepped closer. That one's mine. She stared right through me, not past me, through me. My stomach tightened. "Excuse me?" I said. Still nothing. A man behind me sighed impatiently and reached around my shoulder, grabbing the cup. "Hey," I snapped, "that's my coffee." He frowned at the cup, then at the barista. "This one's mine," he said, holding up his receipt. The barista nodded. "Of course." The man took the cup and walked away without even brushing my arm. I stood there frozen, invisible. "No," I whispered. "That's not funny." I waved my hand in front of the barista's face. Nothing. People moved around me like water around a rock. No eye contact, no reactions, no acknowledgement. My heart started to race. I stepped back, bumping into someone, or at least I should have. Instead, the person walked straight through me like I was smoke. Panic surged through my chest. I stumbled out of the cafe and onto the street. Cars passed, people talked, a dog barked as its owner crossed the road. Life continued, just without me. I shouted, "Hey, can anyone hear me?" Nothing. A woman stood inches from me, scrolling on her phone. I screamed in her face. She didn't blink. My hands were shaking. This couldn't be real. This had to be a dream. I pinched my arm hard. Pain flared. I was awake. I ran home, or tried to. Crossing the street was a nightmare. Cars didn't slow. They didn't see me. I had to learn quickly how to move between them, heart pounding, body shaking. When I reached my apartment building, I slammed my shoulder into the glass door. It didn't open. My heart dropped. Of course it didn't. The door wasn't locked. It just didn't register me. I stood there, breathing hard, watching people enter and exit like I didn't exist. Finally, a tenant walked out and the door swung open. I slipped inside before it closed again. The lobby was empty. My footsteps echoed. At least the building still knew I was here. I took the stairs. The elevator felt like a risk I couldn't afford. Inside my apartment, everything was exactly as I'd left it. My jacket on the chair, my keys on the table, my phone charging on the counter. I grabbed it immediately. No signal, no notifications, no missed calls. The lock screen showed the date. It was today, still today. I opened my contacts. They were all there. I tapped my sister's name and called her. The phone rang and rang, then voicemail. I tried again, straight to voicemail. I texted, "Something's wrong. Please call me." The message showed as sent, but not delivered. My chest tightened. I opened social media. My profile was there, my photos, my posts, my comments, but when I refreshed the page, my profile vanished, like it had never existed. Search results showed nothing. I tried my email. Login failed. User not found. My breathing grew shallow. I wasn't just invisible, I was being erased. A sound behind me made me spin around. The air in my living room shifted. Not a noise, a pressure, like someone stepping into a space that had been empty a moment before. Then a voice spoke. Calm, close, familiar. "You're handling this better than last time." My blood ran cold. I turned slowly. A man stood near my window. About my height, my build, my face, but older, more tired. Dark circles under his eyes. Same scar on the chin I got as a kid. Same eyes. My eyes. "What the hell is this?" I whispered. He looked at me with something like pity. "You really don't remember." "Remember what?" I demanded. He sighed. "That's always the worst part." My heart pounded so hard it hurt. "Who are you?" I asked. He smiled faintly. "I'm the version of you who didn't get forgotten." My knees nearly gave out. "That's not possible." "No," he agreed, "but it's happening anyway." I shook my head. "Why can't anyone see me?" He leaned against the wall like he'd done this 100 times. "Because today," he said, "you finally crossed the line." "What line?" I asked. He met my eyes. "The one where you stop existing for other people and start existing only for yourself." My throat got dry. "That doesn't make any sense." "It will," he replied, "in about 12 hours. I swallowed hard. "What happens in 12 hours? He didn't answer right away. He looked out the window, watching the city move without me. Then he said softly, "If we don't fix this, you won't just be forgotten." My heart hammered. "What then?" He turned back to me. "I will be replaced." The word echoed in my head. "By who?" I whispered. He held my gaze. "By the version of you who learned how to survive without being seen." The room felt smaller, colder. "And you?" I asked. "Why are you here?" He stepped closer, lowered his voice. "Because I'm running out of time, and you're the only one who can still choose differently." My phone buzzed in my hand. A notification appeared on the screen. Not a message, not a call, a system alert. "Account recovery in progress." Below it, one line of text faded in slowly. "Identity transfer, 3% complete." My chest tightened painfully. "What does that mean?" I whispered. The other me closed his eyes. "It means," he said quietly, "they've already started forgetting you on purpose." Part 2. I stared at the screen until the words blurred. Identity transfer, 3% complete. "What does that actually mean?" I asked, my voice barely steady. "Who is they?" The other me didn't answer immediately. He walked to the kitchen, opened a cabinet, and took out a glass, filled it with water, drank it slowly, like he still needed to breathe. "You always ask that first," he said, finally, "and you always regret how simple the answer is." I clenched my jaw. "Try me." He set the glass down. "It's not a who, it's a process." "A process that erases people?" I snapped. "A process that replaces them," he corrected. "People don't vanish, they get optimized." My stomach twisted. "Optimized for what?" He looked at me carefully. "For a world that doesn't have time for half presence." I shook my head. "You're not making sense." "You don't show up," he said bluntly. "Not fully. You fade in conversations, you delay decisions, you disappear emotionally long before you disappear physically. That doesn't mean I deserve this, I shot back. He nodded. No, but it makes you eligible. I felt a cold weight settle in my chest. Eligible for what? He glanced at my phone. For replacement. The number ticked up. Identity transfer, 5%. My breathing grew shallow. Stop looking at it like a countdown to death, he said. It's more like a handover. To who? I demanded. He hesitated, then said, to me. Silence filled the room. I laughed, sharp and broken. You expect me to believe you're stealing my life? No, he replied calmly. I already did. Once. My heart slammed. Once? He leaned back against the counter. This isn't the first time you were forgotten, he said. It's just the first time it happened all at once. Memories stirred. Not clear ones, more like shadows. Moments where conversations ended without me remembering how. Jobs I left without knowing why. Relationships that faded with no single breaking point. You've always been optional. To yourself, most of all. That's not true, I whispered. Isn't it? He asked gently. When was the last time you fought to be remembered? The question hurt more than the situation. I didn't answer. My phone buzzed again. 7%. How do we stop it? I asked. He met my eyes. You don't stop it. You interrupt it. How? He tapped his chest. You remind the system why you matter. And how exactly do I do that? I snapped. No one can see me. He smiled faintly. That's the trick. You don't remind people. I frowned. Then who? He tapped his chest. You remind yourself. The room felt suddenly smaller. You're telling me this is happening because I, what? Don't assert myself enough? No, he said, because you let the world decide who you are by how little resistance you offer. That's insane. Maybe, he replied, but it's consistent. I ran a hand through my hair, pacing. So the solution is what? Yell into the void until the universe notices? He shook his head. No, he said. You anchor yourself. I stopped. Anchor? He nodded. The process works by thinning you out, detaching you, replacing you with a version that functions better under pressure. My chest tightened. You, I said quietly. He didn't deny it. To stop it, he continued, you need to do the opposite. You need to be undeniable. And how am I supposed to do that if no one can hear me? He stepped closer. By forcing the world to react, even if it doesn't recognize you yet. I stared at him. That sounds dangerous. He smiled faintly. It is. The number climbed again. 9%. What happens when it reaches 100%? I asked. He exhaled slowly. Then you won't be invisible anymore. Relief surged. So I come back? He shook his head. No, he said. I stay. My heart dropped. You mean I disappear completely? You don't disappear, he replied. You become background, memories without weight, thoughts without action. I felt sick. And you get my life? I get continuity, he corrected. Friends, a job, a presence. I clenched my fists. You're not better than me. No, he agreed. I'm just louder. The phone buzzed again. 11%. I looked up at him. So what's your angle? Why warn me? His expression changed. For the first time, he looked tired. Because this version of me has lived your life. And I don't like who I had to become to keep it. The words landed heavy. I learned how to survive without waiting, but I lost something in the process. What? I asked. He met my eyes. the part of us that hesitates because it still cares. My throat tightened. "You want me to stop this?" I said slowly. "Yes." "Even though it means you disappear?" He nodded. I was never meant to be permanent. The room went quiet. Outside, the city moved on. Cars passed. People laughed. Lives continued without me. "How much time do I have?" I asked. He glanced at the phone. 14%. "Less than you think," he said. I took a deep breath. "Okay," I said. "Tell me what to do." He looked relieved, then serious. "You need to leave this apartment," he said. "You need to interfere." "With what?" "With the place where forgetting is easiest," he replied. "And where's that?" He walked to the door and placed his hand on the handle. "The moment where you usually stay silent. In public, in the open, where the system expects you to disappear quietly." My heart pounded. "And what happens if I fail?" He didn't sugarcoat it. "Then the world won't even remember there was a choice." I nodded slowly. "Then let's go," I said. He smiled faintly. "That's the first thing you've said today that actually matters." I reached for the door. As I opened it, my phone buzzed again. Identity transfer, 15%. The hallway outside was full of people. None of them could see me. Yet. Part 3. The hallway was crowded. People stepped out of elevators, talked on their phones, laughed, argued quietly. Life pressed forward in every direction, and not a single person noticed me. I stood in the middle of it, heart pounding, feeling like a ghost who still remembered how it felt to be alive. "This is it," I whispered. "This is where I disappear." The other me walked beside me, hands in his pockets, strangely calm. "This is where you stop disappearing," he corrected, "if you're willing to be seen, even when no one wants to look." I clenched my jaw. They literally can't see me. Not yet, but the system still reacts. It just doesn't label the reaction as you. My phone vibrated. Identity transfer, 18%. The number made my stomach drop. "Where are we going?" I asked. He nodded toward the street outside. Somewhere public, somewhere noisy, somewhere forgetting someone would be inconvenient. We stepped into the city. The cold air hit my face, grounding me. Traffic roared. People rushed past. A street performer played guitar near the corner, his open case half full of coins. "This is insane," I muttered. "I can't just scream in the street." "You can," the other me replied. "You just never have." The percentage climbed. 20%. I stopped walking. "What is wrong?" I asked quietly. "What if this doesn't work?" He looked at me, serious now. "Then you lose quietly, like you always feared." The words stung. I looked around. No one looked back. Perfect. My heart hammered in my chest. I stepped forward, right into the path of a cyclist. He swerved at the last second, shouting, "Watch where you're going." He looked directly at me. My breath caught. He frowned, confused, like he wasn't sure why he'd reacted. Then he rode on. The other me's eyes widened slightly. "You felt that?" he asked. I nodded. He reacted. "Exactly," he said. "You caused friction." My phone buzzed. Identity transfer, 19%. It went down. Hope surged through me. "So I just interfere?" I asked. "You assert," he corrected, without waiting for permission. A group of people stood near a crosswalk waiting for the light. I stepped straight into the middle of them. I spoke. "Excuse me." Nothing. Louder this time. "Excuse me." A woman stepped back suddenly, startled, like she'd felt something brush past her. "What was that?" she asked her friend. The light changed, people crossed. I stood there, shaking. 17%. It's working, I whispered. Yes, the other me said softly, but you're running out of time to do it fully. I frowned. What do you mean? He stopped walking. You can't half do this. You can't be noticed accidentally. You have to choose to exist, publicly, irrevocably. My chest tightened. How? He looked at the street performer. The man was packing up now, glancing around nervously as a police officer approached. No permit. You need to move. The performer protested quietly, apologetic, small. I felt something twist inside me. I knew this feeling, the urge to stay out of it, to keep walking, to not make things worse. The other me watched my face carefully. This, he said, this is the moment you usually disappear. The percentage ticked up again. 18%. My heart raced. If I did nothing, he would step in, and I would fade. I took a deep breath and stepped forward. Officer, I said loudly, he's not blocking anyone. Both of them froze. The officer turned toward me. Confusion crossed his face. His eyes flicked like they couldn't quite land. What? He said. I repeated, louder, voice shaking but steady. He's not blocking the sidewalk. People are moving just fine. People around us slowed. A few turned their heads. The performer stared at me, eyes wide. The officer frowned, unsettled. I didn't hear you approach, he said. That's not his fault, and you know it. My phone buzzed violently in my pocket. 15%. The officer hesitated, then sighed. Just pack up and go somewhere else, he muttered to the performer, and don't make it a habit. He walked away. The performer blinked at me. Thanks, he said slowly. I didn't see you there. But you heard me, I said. He nodded. Yeah, I did. He smiled. And in that moment, something shifted. Not in the street, in me. The pressure in my chest loosened. The other me stepped back, his outline flickering slightly. Careful, he said softly. If you keep doing that, you'll disappear, I finished. He smiled. That's the idea. My phone buzzed again. 10%. People were starting to notice. Not clearly, but enough. A woman bumped into me and muttered an apology. A man looked straight at me for a second too long. The world was remembering how to trip over me. How far do I need to go? I asked. The other me's voice was quieter now. Until you stop asking that question, he said. I nodded. I raised my voice again, not yelling, just present. I spoke to a stranger asking for directions. I interrupted a conversation politely but firmly. I stood in a doorway instead of slipping aside. Each time, the number dropped. 7%, 5%. The other me was fading now, like a reflection in fog. Thank you, I said to him. He shook his head. You don't need me anymore, he replied. You're finally doing what I was built for. What happens to you? I asked. He smiled, tired but relieved. I become unnecessary, which is how this was always supposed to end. The phone vibrated one last time. Identity transfer, 1%. Then, process canceled. I gasped. The city sound rushed back, louder than before. People looked at me, really looked. A woman frowned as if recognizing me from somewhere. A man stepped aside to let me pass. Someone said sorry when they bumped into me. The other me was gone. Not erased, integrated. I stood there, shaking, breathing hard, alive in a way I hadn't been in years. Later that night, back in my apartment, my phone buzzed. A normal notification. A text from my sister. Hey, where have you been? Everyone was asking about you today. I stared at the screen, then smiled. I was right here, I typed. I just finally spoke up. I hit send. The message delivered. Immediately. Sometimes when I hesitate now, I still feel it. that familiar pull toward silence, toward letting something else take over. But I don't, because I learned something important the day everyone forgot me. You don't disappear all at once. You fade every time you choose not to exist, and you come back the same way. One voice, one moment, one choice at a time.